Welcome to Charlotte Mecklenburg Library's Read and Writing and Readers Club workshop. In this portion of the workshop, we are going to discuss writing teen reviews. Writing reviews of YA books really isn't that much different from writing reviews of adult books. Use the same elements of appeal you would use for an adult book review. I'll quickly review those again, starting with fiction. They are pacing, characterization, storyline, and setting. Pacing. Is a book fast-paced like the Harry Potter series, or does a book take more time to develop like the Lord of the Rings series? Characterization. Does the book have memorable secondary characters you want to mention, or is the book told from a specific point of view? Storyline. Tell enough of the story to give the reader an idea of what the book is about, but don't give too much away. Setting. Is setting important to the book? If so, mention it in your review. Now that we've discussed fiction reviews, let's look at nonfiction reviews and the nonfiction elements of appeal. They include subject, level of detail or depth, style, and similarities. Subject. This is the most important part of the book. Any reader wants to know the subject of a nonfiction book. Level of detail or depth. Is this a great book for browsing, with lots of pictures, or is it more detailed and better suited for research? Style. Does the book read like fiction, or is it written for homework assignments? There are some additional things to consider besides the elements of appeal when reviewing books for teens. You want to write with your audience in mind. What is it about this book that would appeal to teens today? Write your review for the reluctant reader. How can you make this book sound exciting to someone who would not ordinarily pick it up? Grab the reader from the start. Make the first line of your review a hook to interest the reader at the beginning of the review. Comparisons. Once teens find a book they like, they want to find similar books. For example, if you like Harry Potter, you'll love the Redwall series. Language. Use appropriate language for the age group. For younger teens, use simple phrasing and language, but do not talk down to them. For older teens, you can use more sophisticated language and phrasing. Now that we've talked about writing teen reviews, let's look at some sample reviews. Here's a sample fiction review, The Year My Sister Got Lucky by Amy Friedman. Katie and her sister Michaela are city girls. Born and bred in New York City, they like nothing better than the pavement under their feet, the ever-present noise of the streets, and the prestige of their world-famous ballet school. However, when their mother decides to take a job in rural New York, everything changes. Goodbye to the small apartment they've always known as home, goodbye to their ballet friends, and hello for Lake, New York, town of 2100. But home is not the only thing that changes as they embark upon a new life. Suddenly, Michaela seems to change as well. Will the sisters remain as close as ever, or will Fur Lake be the end of everything Katie knows and loves? Is this review geared toward younger or older teens? I would say this book is probably for younger teens. Can you identify the fiction elements of appeal? Courtney includes characterization, storyline, and setting. She also leaves us wanting to know more about the characters. Let's look at a nonfiction review. Chasing Lincoln's Killer by James Swanson. This is a suspense-driven account of the assassination of Abraham Lincoln in the 12 days his killer was at large. The book was derived from hundreds of original sources, letters, manuscripts, newspapers, some of which made it into the book as scanned photographs. The fast-paced story follows John Wilkes Booth's careful planning of Lincoln's assassination and its successful inaction to the week he spends on the run with his co-conspirators while the country searches for him. The true crime drama, a slimmer version of Swanson's best-selling adult version, brings this historical event alive. Let's look at the nonfiction review. Do you think this is for younger or older teens? I think this book is for older teens. Can you identify the nonfiction elements of appeal? Mary discusses the subject, the level of detail or depth, and the style in her review. Now that we looked at some sample reviews, I will leave you with the most important point about reviewing books for Readers Club. Only review a book you enjoyed reading. Readers Club only accepts positive reviews between 100 to 125 words. We look forward to reading your reviews on Readers Club.